Steve here from jtmwatches.com, and with a little help from GM Watch magazine, I'm going to take you on a guide of a full list of first generation Seiko Monsters. So the first Monster to be released came out in the year 2000, and that was the Black Monster SKX 779. That was shortly followed by the Orange Monster SKX 781. Both of these watches are the only Monsters to feature the caliber 7S26A, which is a 21 jewel movement. They remain some of the cheapest Monsters to be found on the used market, selling from anywhere around $250 and upwards. The first truly limited edition Monster came out in 2003, featured a sapphire glass, candy bar magnification, and the movement was upgraded to the 7S36, which is essentially the same movement but with 23 jewels. Production was limited to only 300 pieces, and they remain some of the hardest to find Monsters on the secondary market. Monster number 4, the Blue Monster, was released in 2005, and only 1,998 pieces were produced. The candy bar magnification glass comes off, which is a style I actually prefer, and the bezel was the first to feature a stylized color from 0 to 15, which you can see around here, indices colored in red. Next up is the Red Monster, released in 2007 and limited to 1,313 pieces. As a limited edition model, the candy bar magnification comes back, which is not my preferred choice, but anyway, this red dial was designed by Akira Sakaide, who's pictured down here, and inspired by the Japanese flag, the Hinomaru, which was also the inspiration for the second generation Monster, the Sun, also designed by Sakaide's son. The next Monster to be released came out in 2008, and that was Monster number 6, which is known as the Prince Monster. In the style of the Land Monster series, it features a unique Jubilee-style rose gold bracelet and titanium bezel, which makes this watch surprisingly light despite its chunky appearance. Green Monster is next, and that was released in 2010, limited to 1,881 pieces in recognition of Seiko's founding year of 1818. To be honest, when I first saw pictures of this, I thought it was the most disgusting, obnoxious color I've ever seen. But actually getting it in your hands and holding it and seeing that reflective polishing on the bezel, it really has become, I think, one of my favorite Monsters. It's garish, it's in your face, but it's really, in that sense, captures the essence of what the Monster's all about, which is just trying to have some fun. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, the Monster's already a pretty divisive watch, let's be honest, and a luminous green color is certainly not going to win any fans over from anyone who's neutral on the watch. Nonetheless, Seiko really upped their game with the presentation and packaging for this Monster, including a really nice Monster engraved rubber strap and a special limited edition torch, which is water resistant, has Monster engraved on it and the number 7. A nice touch for collectors who love these types of extra things thrown in. Next up is Monster number 8, the Snow Monster, and this one is definitely one of my favorites and certainly in my top 3 of all time. Released in 2011, 2,555 pieces, this Monster was designed by Satoru Monjugawa and inspired by the snow mountains of Hokkaido. It features a sand-blasted case, which gives the case a slightly more subdued feel and look to it. And the indices are given a really nice silver frame around them, which really makes the watch stand out. In late 2011, Seiko released a collection of 5 Monsters for the Japanese domestic market. These all have black bezels and subsequently became known as the Night Monster range. The next Monster came in 2012 and limited to 2,112 pieces. It is the Samba Carnival inspired Zamba edition. This is the first generation model to feature the upgraded 4R36 movement, which would become the standard movement found in the second generation of Monsters. By mid-2012, the first generation of Monsters had been replaced by the second generation with the release of the Fang. However, Seiko returned to the first generation style with the 2015 special limited edition release known as the Royal Blue. Limited to 1,750 pieces, the watch reverts to a Generation 1 style dial but adds the framed indices that we saw on the Snow Monster. It also throws in a Generation 2 style crown. Just take off that magnification glass and the Prospex logo and you pretty much have the perfect monster as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my thoughts on the matter, so you guys feel free to let me know which generation is your favorite, and be sure to check out jtmwatches.com for other Thai and Japanese domestic market watches.